If you've tried signing on to healthcare.gov at this point, I'm going to go ahead and say you've probably run into some issues. We tried here at CNN. Check it out.
I put in my username and password and it didn't recognize it.
It wouldn't log me in.
It's not working.
But we thought, hey, we know a lot of folks in Silicon Valley. Surely they've got some ideas. Actually, I spoke to Matt Mullenweg. He's the founder of a company called WordPress. Now, WordPress hosts 1 in every 5 websites on the internet. Listen to what he said.
You know, in software they say you can have it fast, cheap, or good, pick 2 out of 3. And it sounds like they went for the fast and cheaper. Software is difficult to do, and you can't manage it like construction. And typically, especially in Silicon Valley, like we use the very latest technologies. Often government hasn't adopted many of those yet. And if they haven't properly load tested the website beforehand, it's very possible that, you know, it can be overwhelmed with, they find bottlenecks when it launches.
If a VC, a venture capitalist who funds these sites, gave you $500 million to build a site, and it was acting how healthcare.gov, how Obamacare's website acted, I mean, what would be the outcome in Silicon Valley?
You know, maybe it's one of these things where a few weeks from now, the release will come that helps fix many of these problems. But $500 million is a lot of money. All of WordPress.com was built on about $30 million over 8 years. So imagining spending, you know, $400 million over 2 or 3 years boggles my mind.
So let's put this in Silicon Valley terms. What would happen if your venture was funded hundreds of millions of dollars and the rollout was a bit messy? Come on, man, this is your initial rollout. What's the call you're going to get from the VC?
I think a venture capitalist would not be happy, but ultimately it's a process, right? I mean, software is hard. Even in Silicon Valley, we get it wrong many times. And, you know, we're supposed to be some of the best in the world. Many launch days, even Twitter, you know, has had scaling problems throughout its years. It's really about how you respond to the problems. And this is where often Silicon Valley companies distinguish themselves from others.
Putting on your Silicon Valley hat, putting on your technical background hat, and the fact that you power many of the sites on the internet, what is next for them?
We look for what we call SPOF, so single points of failure. And if there's a single point of failure, we try to either replicate it, create backups, or if possible, eliminate it by making the system more distributed. So from my understanding, it sounds like there was a single point of failure, which was having trouble keeping up with the traffic. And you know, at this point, maybe you add more hardware. You look at if there's inefficient queries or inefficient code running and try to optimize it. Or you just wait and hope that the traffic dies down.